Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. This is my channel Alec Reads. My name is Alec Reed and today we are reading Marriage Heartstopper fanfiction by heartstopper_fan22 on Wattpad. Today we are reading chapter 43, flashback number 11. I know, crazy. We are already in chapter 43. Can you believe that? I can't. Anyway, today I am also filming the spice. I know that we are all very excited for that. So yeah, I am starting off the spice content creation for Spotify. So I really hope you enjoy. The first episode is going to be a Heartstopper one. So it's going to be Heartstopper spice, just because number one, I make Heartstopper content. Number two, because Heartstopper season 2 just came out, and so I thought I would give, a little treat for that, because, why not? The next one could be completely different. It could just be a random one, or it could be a different fanfiction fandom that I have been asked to do on my email, which also I have a professional work email because I am a professional. Once again, I also wanted to say that I am sorry that I have to ask for $2.99 for certain episodes, but I really do need a new wheelchair, so I have to do what I have to do, and I hope that you understand. But yeah, we're rolling with the punches today. But anyway, today we are reading chapter 43, and I hope you enjoy. Let's jump right into the video.
Chapter 43, Flashback, Part 11. Nick grabbed my hand and tightly held it, intertwining our fingers. I didn't know if I should just act normal or talk to Nick about his jealous behavior. I can only remember one time that he was really jealous of a guy in my band. His name was Atticus, and he told him to fuck off and leave me alone just because he put his arm around my shoulder. I tried talking to him after that about it, but he just dismissed it and said he wasn't jealous. He better not be doing something mean to Michael. He meant a lot to me and Tori, so I just hope everything goes to plan. Tori then says, after Nick and Michael shook hands, "Let's go. All of this small talk is making me bored." We all walked together, Nick pulling me into his side, away from Michael. He really was jealous. We got our golf clubs and golf balls, then headed to the first hole. "Let's do teams. Nick and Charlie and me and Tori," Michael says. I reply, I was hoping someone would mention teams. I'm horrible at all sports except running, so I don't think mini golf will be an exception. Nick pulled me in tight, saying, "Stop, you're not bad at sports at all. You were amazing at rugby." I smile and say, "You have to say that. You're my boyfriend." Tori then looks around at everyone. "Okay, are we done doing all this lovey-dovey stuff? Let's play." We do a few holes, Nick being amazing and winning the rounds for us, and me losing the rounds for us. But just because Nick was so much better than me, he never once discouraged me or insisted. He did it instead. He just wanted me to have fun. He didn't care if we won or lost. We were walking to the next hole, and I say to Nick, looking at him with his big smile so big it hurts my mouth, "I love you." Nick says, "I love you and always will." He bent down and kissed me on my forehead, which melted my heart. "Charlie, I'm having an amazing time with you. I appreciate you organizing all of this." I was overjoyed with the fact that he was having such a great time. This was only our first surprise. Before I could respond, Michael left Tori and pulled me by my hand in a different direction away from Tori and Nick, so we could be alone. He then looks to see if Nick followed us. then says, OMG, I'm so happy for you, Charlie. Nick seems wonderful. I'm so excited. You're going to give him a promise ring. That's so special. I hug Michael tight and say, thanks. He really is special, and I love him so much. I know he's my soulmate. I know that it probably sounds cringe, but it's true. We walk back to the group, and I'm so happy that Michael said what he said. It just makes me all the more confident Nick will love the ring. Nick kind of pulls me aside a bit while Michael and Tori were doing their turn. What was that about, Charlie? He said in a nice tone. Oh, Michael just wanted to tell me how happy he was for us, that we're cute together. Nick looked a bit relieved when I said that. I follow up with, you don't need to worry, Nick. Me and Michael are just really good friends. He's helped me with a lot. That's why we're so close. There's no need to get jealous. You're my boyfriend, and I wouldn't change that for anyone. Nick hugs me, almost suffocating me. I'm not worried you will leave me for anyone. I trust you with my whole heart, but seeing him touch you or other guys touch you makes me jealous, and I just can't help myself. I smirk and kiss him all over his face and neck. You know that's the cutest thing ever, right? He tries to hide a smile in response. Shut up. We finished playing mini golf with Michael and Tori. It was so much fun. Me and Nick won, so we got a little trophy. It was tacky, but I loved it because it held a special memory inside. Once we were outside the golf course, Tori said, Mom's not picking us up for a while. So, do you want to find a place to eat? I wasn't hungry, and I hated restaurants more than anything. Nick kept looking at me, then said, I'm actually not hungry. And neither is Charlie. You guys should go. Tori then said, okay, and pulled Nick away. I know you're trying to help Charlie, but he needs to eat something. Nick smiled and had prepared himself. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a meal replacement bar. I kind of always have snacks on me now, so when Charlie doesn't want to eat a whole meal, he can still have something. Tori hugged Nick without saying anything. Her response spoke a million words. Nick took my hand and we sat on the bench together. He pulled my legs onto him so we were closer. I could see him ruffling through his pocket and pulling out a meal replacement bar. Then he says, looking at me with his handsome face, Char, I would really like it if you ate some of this. I felt safe in his arms and nobody else was around. Yeah, okay, I reply, and his face lit up with joy. I take a bite and eat it slowly. Nick then takes a bite, which makes me feel more comfortable. We finish the bar together, and my mom pulls up. She gets out of the car and says, OMG, Nick, you must be a miracle worker. I haven't seen Charlie eat a snack in ages. Nick says, it's definitely not me doing this, it's Charlie. He's improving so much, and I'm just so proud of him. My cheeks flush a bright red, and my heart fluttered, knowing Nick felt proud of me. His encouragement made me want to improve and eat more. I felt hope for getting better, which I've never felt before. This solidified even more the fact that he was my soulmate. Chapter 44, Flashback, Part 12. Where are we going now? My house or your house? Nick asks, not knowing that we still have more surprises to come. We're going to your house. I've set up another surprise. This one is more special than mini golf. His face lit up with excitement. Nick loved surprises and quality time more than anything, which is why I decided to set up a romantic picnic in his favorite place. Actually, our favorite place. He rubbed my thigh the whole drive to his house. I was trying to keep my cool because my mom and sister were in the car, but it was so hard. His touch makes me feel like I want to kiss him and never stop. Once we arrived at his house, Nick got out of the car on his side and opened the door for me. He always got the door for me when I was around. It made me feel special. So, That's what Tao and Elle were doing earlier, Nick says, as I led him into the backyard. Yep, although Tao almost blew it because he was too busy playing his stupid Clash of Clans. I texted Elle and Tao about 15 minutes ago that they could go home now, and I owe them for helping me. We walked through the backyard to the massive field filled with buttercups and wildflowers everywhere. We had to cross this little bridge that went over a small creek before we entered the field. Nick scooped me up and carried me across the bridge because the first time I went over it, I slipped and fell over onto the creek, causing my knees to bleed. I insisted that I was fine that day, but Nick was really worried about me. He was too cute. We crossed over the bridge, and he hadn't put me down yet. Nick, put me down. He started running with me in his arms. Never, he said, continuing running through the field. He stopped running when he spotted the picnic set up in the distance. Oh my God, Charlie, did you set up a picnic for us? I smile and nod, looking at his gleaming face. Char, this is the most beautiful, thoughtful thing ever. I love you. He put me down and I grabbed his hand, walking towards the picnic. Char, this looks amazing. When did you have time to do all this? You've been so busy this year with exams. I smile. I made time. He wrapped me up in his arms, resting his head on top of mine. You're amazing. You know that, right? I smile and say, no, you're amazing, and you deserve special attention more than anyone. You always are doing something special for me. It's your turn. We sit down and enjoy Kevit's company for a while, but I needed to give him the promise ring before 7:30 because our last surprise was at 8. Nick has been revising like crazy these past few weeks. I could tell. As much as he was enjoying the picnic, he was exhausted. I was sitting beside him and patted my legs to signal him to come lay down on me, like he loved doing. He cheerfully inched over and laid his head on my legs. I started playing with his soft, dirty blonde hair in a stroking motion. I nervously say, Nick? He responds sleepily. Yeah, Char? I hesitate, but ask, I want to tell you something. He pivots his body so he's looking up at my face. Charlie, you know you can tell me anything. I knew he was right, but my anxiety was always trying to drown me while I'm swimming. I brush the few hairs covering his face out of the way and say, I love you a lot, and I want to solidify our relationship a bit more because I want us to stay together forever. He kisses my hand before saying, I love you more than anything. I know we're going to be together forever. There's no one else on this planet I need more than you. He looks at me with I'm concerned I'm about to hurt your feelings with what I'm about to say look. So I say, no, never mind, it was stupid. I shouldn't have said anything. Nick sits up so he's face to face. No, Char. It wasn't stupid at all, but I think we're too young for marriage. I blurted out, what? I wasn't going to propose to you. Is that what you thought? Nick nervously chuckles. Yeah, you said you wanted to solidify our relationship. I pulled a satin jewelry box out of my pocket and opened it to reveal a little card that had a definition of a promise ring on it. A promise ring signifies a promise to take the relationship seriously. It's also a symbol for hope, the relationship's future development. It does not promise marriage, however, like engagement rings do. What's that, Charlie? Nick says as he takes the small card from my hand. I sat there nervously waiting for his reaction as he reads the definition. Well, he's reading. I quickly grabbed the 2 rings from my pocket and held them out in my palm. He looked at the rings in my hand, and I handed him his ring. He carefully examined the ring that I had picked out for him. I kind of feel silly right now, so if you don't like it, please don't laugh. Nick held the ring to his heart, and tears started to fall from his face. Charlie, I love this. It's not silly at all. This honestly surprised me. Nick loved it so much he was in tears. I'm so happy you like it. I was kind of worried and embarrassed because I thought maybe you would find it silly or stupid. He pulled me into his lap so I was facing him. I laid my head on his shoulder and wrapped my arms around him. No, I don't think it's silly at all. I think you, Charlie Spring, are the most romantic and caring boyfriend in the world. Honestly, this has been the best day ever, Char. I squeezed him, nestling my head into him more. Nick then said, joking around, "Is my baby too big, tired to walk?" I then responded, "Hey, I'm not the one crying." He laughs. Ooh, ouch. But seriously, I love it. I lift my head off his shoulder and kissed him very passionately. Having our tongues meet, I pulled away and said, while looking at the time on my phone, "Nick, I have one last surprise, and we're a bit late, so we better go." His face lit up again. "Charlie, I'm serious. This has been so magical today, and you've planned so much for me. And this ring really means a lot. I'm going to wear it till the day we're married. I promise." Alright, and then at the end of today's episode, I really hope you enjoyed. And by the time you are seeing this video, I will hopefully have the Spice episodes posted on Spotify. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. Anyway, I do want to say thank you for everyone who's watching and everyone who's liking. And I would like to say to leave comments or email me on my work email, so that you can tell me what you would like to see and what kind of spice you would like to see. Whether you only want heartstopper spice or whether you want dreary or I don't even know, any kind really. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. And goodbye, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Bye, friends.